Did the trade take you and shock you maybe as much as everybody else?
I definitely would say that it did. To see my guys here, I'm excited about this.
What is your reaction to going from the big city of New York to Cleveland? I mean, culturally, what will that be like for you?
Yeah, the city is definitely different, but at the end of the day, when you're in season, you just focus on playing ball anyway, so I'm sure it'll be a little different, but you make home anywhere.
Can you go through when you first found out that you were traded and maybe perhaps the next few minutes after?
It just is a lot. I don't even know how else to describe it, but it's just a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts, that run through your mind. Your whole life's changing. Still the same in theory, but it's changing. So I just took it to process. I think I called my mom, called this man, and here we are today.
What are your thoughts about being on a team with these guys up there with you?
I mean, I feel like we spoke this into existence almost. Him and I dreamed of this. This is something we talked about at 17. I'm gonna live right down the street from you. We're gonna be on the same team.
I tell you what, though, when all this is over, and you gonna move out the same neighborhood together.
You guys beat you.
You want me to get it? First of all, this is the most people we've had in this room ever. Glad you guys showed up. Everybody's going to say that we could be and should be Super Bowl contenders. Yeah, we know that. Every person that plays in the NFL should believe that, but I've always firmly believed you set your own expectations. Nobody else really matters. No offense to you guys. You can write all you want about what we have, but if we don't set goals for ourselves and believe in those and work for it, it doesn't really matter.
You lived through 0-16. To go from that to where you're sitting today, can you just process everything that's going on here lately?
We're good on paper. Everything looks good. Everything looks tight. On offense and defense. But until we go out there and prove it, until we go out and win each and every day, it's just words right now. It's just thoughts.
You said you spoke this into existence, and you guys have dreamed about this. So what made it sort of hard at first, to come to grips with and to kind of wrap your mind around that?
It's just life. It's such a sudden change. It's hard to explain. Of course, I'm happy my guys here, but at the same time, you build a relationship with the teammates and those other guys on that team, and that's really what is the hardest thing, like seeing Saquon and Shep the other night, and we were all like, damn, it's just different. So it's really the guys in the locker room. It's the people that you go to war with and you wake up in training camp and you go through all those things with. That's really what makes it so hard.
Why did you think it was important to be here today?
I mean, it's just the first day. It's just, we want to set the tone. I don't know exactly my off-season plans. I usually train in LA, but I definitely want to be able to be here and create that bond, that relationship with the new teammates, coaches, everybody, just so you can kind of see, who I am. I know he was going to be here. He said he was going to be here, so I had to come see my guys.
There could be an outside perception about you that you're me first in some ways. Why is that wrong?
It's just wrong. I don't know how else to explain it.
He's here today, and I think that shows that.
I think one of my biggest problems is that I care, but I don't care at the same time because I know who I am. So nothing that's said about me is ever going to bother me because I know who I am. I went to a school, we were running the ball like 60 plays out of 72, and we blocked every day in practice. So my mentality was never me first. Of course, we're receivers, we want to catch the ball, we want to score touchdowns, but I tell him, you get the post route, I'll get the corner. That's how we worked. It's something different.
For you to be around not only Juice again, but a guy like Baker who has that passion to play that way.
I mean, I've known this guy for a little bit of time too. When we train in LA, we feel like we've talked about, being here, and then it's here. So
we talked to Jarvis last year, and he wanted this possibility to happen. Even over the last, 9-10 months, was this always in the back of your head that you could wind up here? Was that good with you?
Of course, if I wanted to be anywhere else, I'd be playing alongside my brother. This is, like I said, since the day we met, we talked about, all right, I'm going to the same school as you. And I tell people all the time, I was like, he made me who I am today. He's taken me to a level of this greatness, this legendary stuff that we talked about. It's because of him. So, I mean, there's no better place for me to be but here.
Did you really believe it was possible back then? And then what are your thoughts now that you guys are reunited?
I mean, I didn't know for sure if it was possible. I was hoping in the back of my mind that obviously it would be possible. You know, and then I guess a couple weeks ago the ball kind of got rolling on it. You know, and I mean, I kind of got the phone call before, you know, maybe a little bit before everybody that, you know, that it had went through, the trade had went through, and I mean, I just cried. I called him. I talked to John. I cried with John. Cried with Freddie. You know, I mean, like, you know, I know for me, it's something that not only as a player, but, you know, as a person, you know, he's definitely somebody that my life needs, you know, so it's more than an honor to take the field with him again.
What were your first impressions of Freddie Kitchens, Odell?
I love him. I gave him a big hug. I guess he told me he loved me, and we just went from there. But he's just straightforward. It's just authentic. Just first impressions. I'm very excited about the whole. I just feel a different energy, you know, when I stepped off the plane and then they come in here to see. It's love.
You react when you first saw the news that they traded for Odell? What was your reaction? I mean, you were the guy that said before the draft if there was anyone who could turn this thing around here, it was going to be you. And then a year later, Odell's here.
As you can imagine, pretty excited. No, it was one of those things that, like O said, it's one of those things you can't put into words to describe it correctly. I had two people at the house sitting there when I found out. I just started screaming. Just yelling like you would have thought I was on the field on game day.
Oh my God! How did that work?
There's only one ball. It's going to be in your hands. How do you keep everyone locked in and not worried about getting their share?
Probably just close my eyes and throw it and hope one of them catches it.
He came over here last year, and I joked with him like, "Oh, I'm coming," like, you know, like just messing with him, even though we never thought that we'd be here. And like I said, I've watched this team from afar, like how each year they were building, they were stacking players. They go get him, they just stacking, and now it's like it's finally here, and I'm excited to be a part of something like this, a team that has been ascending, and is all I care about is winning. You know, you talk about one ball, he might throw it to him, he might lateral it to me, and I might, you know, that's just, it's a possibility if we don't get yelled at. But as it all settled in, I'm very excited about this, and I think that it's going to be one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life.
It was tough for me too, you know, making the transition. You know, when you play in a place and you feel like you've given your all, or you have given your all, you know, to one place, and you know, it ends so quickly, you know, and sometimes without a say, you know, but I know since the moment that I stepped up here and you guys were sitting here too, and I was smiling, and I remember the first question you asked me was, you know, do you think it's going to be any different? Like, we've had guys in here before, like, you know, and I told you it will be, you know, and as the year went on, you guys lightened up a little bit, you know, but, you know, the love and the appreciation, you know, of everybody that worked in this building, you know, from top to bottom, is something that made me feel so comfortable, you know, the way it feels like family here. And I told him that he would appreciate that. He would appreciate that he could come here and honestly just be himself, and people would love him for that.
The fact that LeBron James was here and he was a superstar here in Cleveland, did that ever enter your mind that, you know, that you can be that right here?
I mean, at the end of the day, I know where I'm at in life. I don't need to be in New York. I don't need to be in LA. I could be in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Like, it doesn't matter where I'm at. So it never really crossed my mind, like, oh, going to Cleveland or worrying about marketing or worrying about any of that. I care about football. I care about winning. Like, all the extra. I didn't step into this game to be famous. I didn't, you know, that's just what fell into my lap. But we talked about legendary. We talked about a legacy. We talked about gold jackets. That's our conversations. It never was about no money. It never was about any of that. It's about being a legend. And I think that, you know, this is our everyday life. We do this every single day. Y'all come in here and we ask questions and we're up here answering. But I think this moment is going to be more iconic than we all realize.
You're known obviously as a passionate player, but is being traded add any fuel to your fire?
That's all I can tell you. Like that's what I asked him about. How was it? And that's just one thing we talk about is love, you know. And just to see that kind of culture is different. It's just different.
Odell has a reputation back in New York of being one of the hardest working players. He's the hardest working practice player and obviously in games as well. How do you think he can affect the tone and the way the locker room is here in Cleveland?
Oh, he'll get a run for his money on the competitive work ethic nature. But that's what we know what type of guy we're getting. But that's why I say it's great for the locker room and the impact that he can have with who he is as a person speaks much more than anything he will ever do on the field. It just that's the big difference when you bring in guys like that. That's why it's such a big deal to us, and that's why we're all excited.
When I asked Freddie what you bring to the team, I thought it was interesting that he didn't go to stats or numbers. He said enthusiasm, passion, and what gets misconstrued is that how much you love the game. And I'm just wondering how important you consider those attributes of yours to be.
No, I think you're exactly right about that. Like, it's not, the numbers is nothing because I don't feel like I put up my best numbers. So, the people say numbers don't lie, but I think that they do. And what I want to bring to a team is the person that you know what I mean? That's what I want to bring to this team. Energy is all I bring. You're getting a guy who's going to give you everything he has on Sundays, through the rest of the week as well, but I'm going to lay it all on the line every single time I go out there Sunday. This is everything I ever dreamed of, and more. So I'm just really excited about the opportunity. I can't lie. I'm looking at it, I feel it, and I think this is the biggest blessing, in my entire life. Especially being able to be here for him, like we used to call each other every single day, and I know that this life gets hard. We go through our ups and downs, and it's like, I felt like I couldn't be there for him all the time, even if it's just by a phone call, and now I can really be there. I can be back in his life, and it's something, I prayed for, and be careful what you wish for, because I got it. Honestly, I've seen it.
Well, I think I can tell by how many people are in this room. You guys didn't do this for us last year.
No.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Definitely, I can feel the excitement, that's why I'm saying to be a part of that is exciting for me, because it's like you want to be around guys who want to win, but you want to be around fans who want, this is. I can't even put it into words. I'm sorry. This is just a lot. It's a lot for the city of Cleveland. I feel like, like I said, we were in BR. It's a football town. I heard this is a football town. I'm looking forward to finding out.
Jarvis, not only are you guys together, but Adam Henry is part of this too. How do you guys complement each other, the three of you, and what does it mean to you to have not just you guys, but the three of you guys all together here?
The thing that makes Adam so special, obviously, we've had our times together at LSU, but he's been part of the recruiting process from when we were in high school and things like that. So he knows a lot about, our lives, inside and out. And I would say, I think there's these things I guess you can call trigger points, that motivates us, to go harder, to do more. And he knows all of them, so pretty much he got the leash on the dogs, and you just got to let them go,
So, Odell, can you give you set the record straight of who's the better one-handed catcher and how that all came about?
Like I told you, he started this. This is the reason this all happened is because of him. We would sneak into the facility at midnight, go shoot jugs till 2 in the morning. We'd be like, let's go outside and talk. We'd go throw. We'd be sitting right outside our room, throwing the football back and forth, playing 20, 21, or whatever you want to call it. Him throwing the ball as hard as he can at me, and just got to catch it. The hardest throw as possible, got to catch it. But all the one-hand stuff came from him.
And for me, it's really important for people to realize that it's not just a fluke season. Like this is real. I want to improve. I'm not satisfied with setting one record. I want to win Super Bowls. I want to do a lot more, and that's why you combine that with guys like these guys that talk about legacy and leaving, something behind them they could be proud of and look back on, and that's about setting your own expectations. And so, yeah, they keep increasing. The more talent I have around me, it's going to make my job a lot easier, but that means I have to work that much harder for it.
Obviously, you're on LeBron, on the show with LeBron on HBO, and there's some interaction on social media after the trade. Have you, or will you kind of pick his brain about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I asked him if I could borrow the house, but he says it's too big for me to stay there by myself. So he gave me a little bit of advice over here and there. He just said, you're gonna love it. He was like, you're gonna love Cleveland. I was like, I can't wait. And that's like my idol. So it's like, it's the person I looked up to the most, and that's my guy. And like to see what he did to bring a championship here. I just want to be able to do that same thing.
There's a plan in everything, kid. And I love it when a plan comes together.